We're going to talk about the most important numbers related to Georgia football right now.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Together, Locked On Bulldogs, brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved. Today, we are talking about the numbers that matter most for UGA, Daniel. And there's lots of numbers that we can get into for the season. We condense it down because there is a great deal to be excited about, Georgia fan. We're going to break down those numbers. What's so important for this year and this bye week and these stretch of season coming up. Daniel, where do you want to begin on the numbers for 2025 Georgia?
Well, we should have done a pre-production meeting because you said there's a lot to be excited about. I'm not sure my first number is going to elicit a lot of excitement from you. These are numbers. I can't change them. I can't argue with them. So I'm just going to present them to you. My first number is the number 42. No. Clint, would you like to take a stab? It would be a certified miracle if you guessed what the number 42 was in reference to, but I'll let you take a stab at it.
Okay. Is it a grade of some sort for a position?
No, it is a ranking of some sort.
Oh, okay. That's gonna have to be quarterback sacks or pressures allowed by the offensive line.
No, but it's not bad. That's not a bad guess. So Georgia ranks 42nd in the country in net yards per play. It is a metric of explosivity in your offense. It is, just as it sounds, how many total yards you gain for every play that you run on the offensive side of the ball. Georgia averages 0.95 yards per play, less than 1 yard per play. That's good enough for 42nd nationally. That's behind some juggernauts like Old Dominion, Purdue, Virginia, LSU, Mississippi State, Houston, UNLV, led by Dan Mullen, Maryland, soundly ahead of Georgia. I'm sorry, Iowa. Ahead of Georgia in yards per play, net yards per play. Alabama, on the other hand, Clint,
here we go,
is number 11 in the country, net yards per play at 2.52. Now, Georgia fans, you might be saying to yourself, this is some garbage can statistic.
It's not.
I don't care about yards per play. I can't convince you to care about yards per play, but here's the best I can do.
Okay.
In 2021, do you know where Georgia finished in the rankings in the country in yards per play?
Tell me.
Number one in the country in 2021. Okay. Anything interesting happened that year? In 2022, do you know where Georgia finished in net yards per play?
Tell me.
Number 1 in the country. Both years that we won a national championship, we finished number 1 in the country in this statistic. So you tell me, Georgia fans, do you care about net yards per play?
You should.
The Georgia offense right now has gained yards. They certainly scored points against Tennessee. We have seen red zone struggles. We talk more about that. We have seen too many field goals, all of those things. But I would say at this moment, the Georgia offense still continues to be woefully unexplosive, Clint.
I'm going to come back and tell you why. Daniel is full of it. But first, these. These are, in fact, Mazda Move and Be Moved. Mazda's fantastic. You need to love them. Is brought to you by Mazda. Move the game forward, just like Gunnar Stockton did against Tennessee, and just like he's going to continue to do every single game henceforth, because we have not seen the best out of Gunnar Stockton. We've only seen just the beginning. He is somebody that we love, and Georgia fans, if you were calling for his head, you are foolish. Don't be like that.
You're the worst.
Mazda is fantastic. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda vehicle. Mazda move and be moved. But that's not it. We also have Wayfair. Wayfair is fantastic. You need to get over there right now. The weather, Daniel, is thankfully cooling off. Ooh,
It's
boy,
trying.
howdy.
It is trying.
For some of us, we've been there for a hot minute. Others of us have not been there. Everything you need to set the mood for the season: recliners, bedding, autumn decor, whatnot. What I love about it is variety. Has options for every style, every budget. I don't have to compromise. Cozy your space with Wayfair curated collections. That's a tongue.
Nailed it.
Of easy, affordable fall updates. From comfy recliners to cozy bedding and autumn decor, you'll find it all way less at wayfair.com. That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. I'm going to let you know, Daniel, why that is good and great and glorious. And come back to me at the end of the season because, again, Kirby Smart in the game said, hey, we need to go ahead and solidify the run. So that's number one, why it's bogus.
Yeah. You're right. We've got a lot easier opponents coming up than we've had so far with Marshall and Austin.
You misunderstood the context, which I was bringing to that entire discussion. Number two, I'm about to go ahead and side with you on this, Daniel. Number two is this red zone. This is what we mean, what we had Josh on, eating your food. You have to finish in the red zone. Red zone's condensed per plays in the red zone, get shrunk down. Each yard, it eats into that. I honestly, it's not about 50-yard gains in the middle of the field. It's actually about finishing drives off in the red zone and not having 8 plays inside the 25 in which you score 3 points and have 2 downs to get through. Like, no. Get in the scoring zone, get 2 plays, 3 plays, and score. Daniel, what's the next number you have for the people?
Well, it is interesting that you talk about red zone. I was gonna go to points per drive. Georgia, 22nd in the country, not nearly as low. A lot of Georgia fans upset about not scoring touchdowns in the red zone, not coming out with touchdowns, having to kick field goals. Georgia, not too bad, not as good as we would want to be in terms of points per drive, but not too bad. The next number, though, that I have for you, my first number was 42. The next number that I have for you is the number 52, Clint.
Okay, 52. It's going to be another ranking of some kind.
It's not a ranking.
It's not a ranking. Okay, this is cold, hard fact. 52. Yards after contact for Dwight Phillips.
Ooh, no. It is not yards after contact for
Tell the people what it is.
Dwight Phillips. Number 52 is the number of the best defensive player on Georgia's roster.
There we go.
This is officially a Kristen Miller love podcast now. Like I don't want to say we sold him short, but we did spend our offseason focusing on talking about other guys, right? We spent a lot of time talking about Chris Cole. We spent a lot of time talking about Justin Williams. We spent a lot of time talking about Jordan Hall. All of those guys, I think, are worth talking about. Justin Williams has not really seen as much impact in the game as you would like at this point. Chris Cole has been fantastic. Jordan Hall has also been fantastic. But the best player on this defense, Clint, it ain't KJ Bolden, and it ain't CJ Allen, and it ain't Chris Cole, and it ain't Dalen Everett. It is, so far through 3 games, it has been Kristen Miller. Kristen Miller played a buttload of snaps. That is an official count that I did.
It's not an official stat.
Well, this is a by the numbers episode, so I'm only stating the exact numbers. He played a buttload of snaps against Tennessee, the most on the entire defensive line.
Yeah.
And through 3 games, he has been a dominant presence, Clint. He stops the run. He collapses the pocket. He eats up blocks. He takes on double teams. He gets off blocks and sheds and makes tackles. He pursues down the line of scrimmage. Kristen Miller is everything that Georgia has wanted him to grow into. You don't always see that from these players, but the development, again, from Trey Scott, the development, again, is it's worth pausing and celebrating as a Georgia fan here because Georgia has its share of offensive line concerns, Clint.
Sure.
And a lot of those are injury related. Some of them are performance related. Georgia doesn't have any defensive line concerns right now.
No.
Through 3 games, that defensive front is just fine. The linebacking core
humming.
Just fine. Humming. And a lot of that has to do with 52, Kristen Miller.
Kristen Miller is hands down. You said it earlier. He does everything well. He stops the run. He eats up blocks. He gets through double teams. He disrupts the pocket. And we're talking about, yes, we have other guys who have accumulated sacks, but they have Kristen Miller to thank for those sacks because the quarterback is being pushed out of position to do so. He is the most dominant force on this defense. And I would say, outside of Gunnar Stockton's performance against Tennessee, the best player on Georgia, hands down right now, is Kristen Miller. Gunnar Stockton, all things considered from Tennessee, probably has that position because of those throws he did late. But Kristen Miller's a dude. We're going to come back. I'm going to give you a number, and I'm going to have Daniel guess it. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Square. This episode brought to you by Square, your favorite neighborhood sports run on Square. Certain businesses that truly make the neighborhood feel like home, whether it's a local sports bar or it's a coffee shop. These are the places that bring people together. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. It's the kind of place where you walk in, everybody knows their name, the staff, and I feel like family. They've been serving the community for years. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll always be happy to do it. Square, see you in the neighborhood.
All right, Clint, we have given out 2 numbers, 42, 52. What's the last number you've got for the people today?
85, Daniel. 85. Do you know what 85 pertains to for this 2025 Georgia team?
85 feels like a total number of yards
Ooh,
per game of some type.
You're getting warm.
Okay. Is it
you can get there. I believe.
Is it allowed? Is it a defensive statistic?
It's not a defensive.
Okay, it's an offensive statistic.
It is.
So this is that the average number of rushing yards per game that each of our backs has?
Ooh, Daniel, you can get there. You're so close.
Okay. Well, just give it to me.
It's the number of yards that Georgia is rushing for more per game than last year's average. Daniel, we are rushing for 85 more yards per game.
I felt feelings.
Y'all, I'm just here to tell you, when Kirby Smart sets his mind to something, when he tells you it's a goal, he's not lying, he's not blowing smoke, and he will achieve his goal. 85 yards more rushing this year compared to last year. This team is different. We told you it was built different. Kristen Miller is a dominant force on this defense. Last year, we didn't have dominance in the middle. We were soft. This year, we ain't soft. We're just fine. This year, Kirby Smart said, I want to run the ball, and he got 3-headed attack in the backfield that are all accumulating 85 more yards than we did last year with what I was told was the best running back in the SEC last year. Now, that's not trying to throw shade at ETN. That's me saying this year's offensive line, offensive production. Well, I'm trying.
I'd like to throw shade at ETN.
Not now, Daniel. Bye week. We need to come together during the bye week, okay? 85 yards per game. Daniel, that's fantastic growth.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be throwing shade at ETN. Just think about the depth at running back on this team and compare him to last year's version of Nate Frazier, if you want. Forget about Trevor Etienne. How about last year's version of Nate Frazier? How much better is this year's version of Nate Frazier than last year's version of Nate Frazier, Clint?
Night and day difference.
How much better is Chauncey Bowens this year than last year's Nate Frazier?
Boy, he is much better.
How much better is Josh McCray in the red zone than last year's version of Nate Frazier? How much better is Dwight Phillips than last year's version of Nate Frazier?
Glorious all the way around.
Georgia's got, it's not depth. Depth implies a bunch of Jags, like just a guy.
Just dude.
But Georgia's got legitimate talent, and they just roll them in, Clint. There's another guy behind him.
It's not a drop
guess
off.
What? There's another guy behind that. And you see it in the way that Nate Frazier is running. I mean, am I allowed to say? I think I am. Nate Frazier reminds me a lot of Noshawn Marino this year. He's got a no Sean Marino vibe to it.
Allow it.
There's something about how fast he moves those legs, Clint. That's the no Sean move right there. Like
this offensive weapon, this juggernaut that is going to be healthy and full of steam all year long. They're not going to slow down. They're not going to get tired. They're not going to get injured. It's going to be all year long. That average is only going to go up. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs. We will see you guys next time.
See ya.